Yeah, before it picks up again. Yes, we're ready. Everybody's ready.
Alright, after many ifs and buts, it seems we're gonna get it going.
Yep.
Oh, thank God.
So there's about 1.5 minutes, I think. There's a 3-minute delay on the server, for obvious reasons. Sorry about that.
Alright, get your knives ready. No gun. No guns, guys.
So, is this the knife round?
Yeah, they're getting ready for knife round. I'm not sure if this is the official one, but both
Did
teams
anyone
are
else
ready
see
to
the
go.
psychedelic thing?
Alright, we have the teams charging in with knives. It's always a bit unclear if there's a knife round or not, since there's no official
like some
start
sort of
for it.
Yeah, no one said anything in the chat, so it's a bit
Yeah.
confusing.
While the actual match start has a
There's a
built-in
knife round?
Got him on the bridge.
announcement when it starts.
You can thank me for that.
Well done, Angel. Why didn't you fix the fucking knife round though?
I didn't think it was needed.
So we got quite a huge stabbing match going on in the briefing room now. It's a 2-2 at the moment. Denzak, oh, Jinrai wins the knife round. If that is the knife round. Alright, it is.
So producer picks NSF, which means Snob's team is going to be Jim.
Yep. Now, I don't think the team choice matters a lot on this map. I guess starting out on tarmac might be nice, if that's what you dig. Like, starting on the roof on Rice might be preferable, depending on how you play. The NSF are starting out on tarmac, so that might have been a conscious well, they might not. I guess we'll find out. But it might have very well been a conscious decision to pick that side. Some people pick teams just for looks, I imagine. But I'm gonna post the announcement.
Oh, the overlay doesn't look too good with the resolution I'm using. It seems. And yeah, turn the music on.
Alright, there we go. So the match isn't quite going just yet. Oh, is I think? Or is it? No, it's not. It's the official restart hasn't happened yet. Or start.
No. Now I fixed the overlay. Much better.
Sweet. The team's acknowledging that they're ready to play. I think you and I should try to apply for a job at the NASL or WCS, or maybe even GOM TV.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, we could start casting World of Tanks. You know, I have no idea why that game is so popular. I watched a few matches.
I've never watched anything actually.
So we're
It
still
seems to
running
be
this
like a huge deal in Asia and similar countries.
Yeah.
Well, similar countries, but the countries in Asia rather.
Uh,
Okay.
so when is the restart?
So why are we using in-game?
Because Sevilla can't use mumble. Can't hear him.
Yeah, because there's something wrong with that server. Should I join mine? Oh well.
But it's
Let's do this.
too late now. Like,
It's too late. Let's do it. It's live.
Alright, this is gonna be interesting. We're gonna be hearing the Jinrai talking using the in-game chat. We don't often get
okay.
to listen to a team playing, so this might be interesting.
I'm gonna cover T
Yeah,
junction.
I'm just gonna have to
I
tweak
need some
the
main
volumes a
server,
bit.
and I need one person watching basement.
Take zero.
The ref for this match is Rain,
Oh shit. then I
with
think
third
T
reffing
junction,
the
I
other
meant
match.
Skybridge. Fuck.
Do you have Skybridge?
Yeah, I'm on Skybridge.
So we see Snob covering the Skybridge.
Okay.
Sevilla's
come
in
on,
the
hangar.
basement.
I hear them in the
I
middle.
see one just
Hang on.
Jinrai is split out pretty well, covering the entire map. Dash 219, almost dying in the hangar. But that's taking Denzak down.
See Snob dropping down into the server and killing.
And that, yeah, this is what I was talking about here. Snob is gonna have to pull some shit to get this match going in his
that's a
favor.
terrible nade.
It's all up to Pudding now. Let's see what he's up to.
Okay, where are you at, man?
Yeah, this is live. Sorry, I was in the options menu, so we didn't see the
Alright,
countdown.
I'm gonna join
But this is
you.
live.
Yeah, this is going. So, producer is in the server room right now, going out into hangar through the door.
Or are you just peeking around the corner?
We have Sevilla and Snob in the basement. They seem to be locking down. Well, yeah. They seem to be locking it down, maybe just trying to camp it out to get the first win against producer. If he's gonna have to attack in there, he's in a really bad
Alright,
spot.
I'm gonna grab the ghost. Beeping?
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard for him to break into the basement.
Yeah,
Above?
now that Snob knows where he's coming.
Okay, he's
Producer
down
is
there.
already across the skybridge now and going down the
He's
basement.
peeking.
Oh. Yeah, Sevilla shouldn't have taken that fight.
No. Now they're down to 1-1.
Yeah. That was exactly what producer needed. An easy kill with Snob being distracted. Or having his hands full, rather. Snob does get his rifle back. And Snob is at 100 health while producer is only at 74. And Snob, well, they both know where the other one is. It's gonna be interesting to see if one of them dares push out. At the moment they're just watching each other. Alright, we're gonna have a firefight in the basement staircase. Snob pushing up. Oh. They're gonna see each other, there you go. And Snob gets...
Nice shot.
Snob wins thanks to his teammate taking producer down to 75 rather.
Good job.
Snob only has a 12 HP advantage at the end.
That ace.
Snob pulling off an ace at the start.
It's not an ace if you have 3 kills.
Well, you killed their entire team. It's kind of an ace.
Okay. Okay.
I wounded one.
Watch Phantom Skybrand.
See 2 recons on section 8.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Full
interesting.
assault.
I'm going
Jinrai
to
going
Dixon's
full
Skybrand.
assault again. They seem to be content with cutting the map in half.
Ooh, that's
Denzak picking off dead in the basement.
Nice
but
kill.
it did a lot of damage.
One down basement.
Okay. Let's
One of the
Denzak
stronger
just
players on the
like,
producer's team.
pretty much like hold from a
Okay.
safe angle.
Producer and Dash are gonna be pushing through the basement here. With Snob, yeah, it's just Denzak sitting there waiting for them.
Nobody walking towards server room. Sevilla, are you on fence?
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
bounced over.
Problem with recons is that
Okay.
they have a lot less HP than the other classes.
Yeah,
So it's easy to die unless you can flank somehow.
yeah. They also don't have motion vision, so in a cloak between say an assault and a recon, where both are cloaked, the assault has quite a big advantage. Oh, Dash does flank around Denzak though, going through the hidey
He's in
hole.
the basement.
Kill Dash. I mean Denzak rather.
Oh, got him.
And producer catches Sevilla in the hangar. So now we have the opposite situation with Snob being up against 2. Producer's watching the ghost.
Wow.
Oh,
It's a nice 180.
yeah. Snob's really hurt though. And he doesn't know where Producer are, while Producer probably has a good guess. Damn, son. Snob takes him out. That's the second ace? No, Denzak got one. Never mind.
Yeah. Snob is
I
doing
did
really
not
good.
know he was there.
Yeah. I think he's approaching Sergeant now. No, he's at 9 points. So, Jinra have 9, 3, and 2 points, and then his F have 2, 1, and 1.
Did you like damage
With
him?
Jinra having a 2-0 lead.
Really low and I shot him.
Oh, I had a nice little fight with him.
Section 8 switching back to 1 recon and 2 assaults.
Yeah. Jinra is sticking with full assault. And that's probably going to be the default, both for
Probably.
them and for everyone in the
If
tournament.
you watch Skybridge, I'm gonna go try to nade, like toss a nade from the hangar.
Especially on this
Snob's
map,
going.
I don't think recons are really that good. And you can use them to jump over the fence. But
Oh, that failed.
I think a recon on this map needs the chaos that
just
you
wanna
get
cross
from having a
average.
lot of players, and then you can catch a few out.
Yeah.
Once 3-on-3. Especially with the way Section 8 are playing the recons. Not assaulting at all, they're not rushing.
One on the roof.
Alright. I have a few shots fired. Seville has taken some damage and Denzak as well.
Denzak,
Producer's a bit hurt.
watch basement. Okay.
Dash finishes off Seville and is sitting inside the hangar now. Alright, they finish him up. The Jinra team are sitting out on the tarmac, just not covering a lot of the map. They're kind of pushed into a corner when sitting there.
let's see if Producer can get utilize
Push up
his
aggressive way to try to get the guy on the roof.
advantage. He's on the
Yeah.
roof.
I think Snob knows he's on the roof. Yep, Snob
Yeah,
knows.
he goes down.
Got him.
In fact, Producer was the one who
I'm
looked away
underneath
when Snob went out. So now Snob. Oh, that gets Snob. So that was what Jin and SF need, I think. Getting Snob just a few times is gonna help their confidence quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Denzak and Dead are up against each other now. Denzak slowly just below Dead at the moment. Probably gonna have a shootout any second now. Oh, Dead sees him. There you go.
Good try.
I need to buy my walkie.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they can take out
Oh,
Snob, they
as long as you're zoomed
have a chance of
in,
winning
they
a few
won't hear
rounds
Yeah,
and tie it up.
Snob has been by far the strongest player this match. So Snob is a sergeant now. I'm not sure if he's gonna take advantage of that. No, he goes for the 0 silence still, and I think that's the right choice for this. We got the Jinrai taking 1 M41 silence as well.
I like the shotgun if you go through the basement. But
Yeah,
anywhere else on the map, it's pretty useless with the long distances.
I think that's the big problem with it. There, you can dominate the basement and the server room and the different rooms,
One's on Skybridge.
but there are so many places where it's not useful.
One's in hangar.
They're just spending the time getting to know each other at the moment, just taking a few shots. Denzak approaching over the roof, hoping to catch someone out. He's in a prime position if he's just gonna wait for people to get walk past the Skybridge like that coming out now.
Whoa, he crossed the fence.
Okay.
That saw him sitting on the roof, so that's probably gonna finish off Denzak now. Yeah, there you go.
Still some fighting by the fence. Producer finally gets the shot and takes it, so
Yeah, oh, and that finishes off Snob. We got a 2-2 all of a sudden.
good job.
It's first to how many?
Say what?
It's first to how many rounds?
We've got the ghost on our side. It's important that we make sure they don't get it.
Ooh, going with the same loadout, I think. Yeah, but they've got a really
Make sure
close
they don't
ghost here.
Push me from the roof or the fence, because those are the fastest point.
Yeah, they need to play defensive now or pick up the ghost.
Yeah,
Just
I think
there.
Snob's planning on moving it up.
By you walking over it.
Luckily for him, the NSF don't seem to be trying to snipe him out. We got one assault throwing a grenade at him, but not hitting.
Snob is gonna run back. Maybe try to pick up his gun before it despawns.
Yeah.
Drop down.
I think he just got him in time.
Definitely love for those guys.
This Dash is actually kind of hurt. He's going through the server hangar now.
Nice.
They're
Yeah, producer
Oh,
goes down on the roof.
yeah.
Alright, we have
That's
to
really nice for the Jinrai. Dash is sitting really dangerously here, but
make sure that we don't give up any frags.
That is
No one's-
sneaking out. He went through the basement, now he's by the helicopter.
yeah.
Looking
So
for
the
ghost, I
NSF,
guess.
the NSF team are gathered there now at least.
Sevilla
The Jinrai
goes
don't know
scout
at all
and
where the
check
NSF
your
are.
roof.
Alright, Dash peeks out.
Cover your roof. Nice.
That goes down.
That's just that left.
Let's see if that's gonna be an interesting position here.
He might
Because
be
the
able to
Jinrai
sneak up
don't,
behind them.
yeah. The Jinrai don't seem to be watching it or even be aware of the fact that he might be coming up behind them.
Oh, that was terrible.
With where Snob throw that grenade, like across the roof, he probably doesn't know at all. And that's coming up now.
He needs to be really quiet now.
Yeah, he's probably gonna get Denzak.
Is he now?
Denzak decides to move up a bit.
Okay, don't push in too much, Sevilla. Just back off. Come back to me, like, but do so in a way that doesn't expose you to him.
And that's not quite sure about pushing out.
Dude, just run all the way over here, man. Come on. Don't crouch.
Yeah, that catches Denzak.
Okay, so he just killed Denzak from the fence.
Sevilla and
Or in the
Snob
circle,
are
maybe we're paying attention.
kind of out of position, but they fell
Yeah.
back.
Snob thinks he's at the fence. He didn't realize that he came up behind them.
I think that's spotted him
By
now.
our tarmac.
Yeah. They've seen both have seen each other.
Nope, he's on our spawn by our side of the tarmac.
The Jinrai are in a pretty good position here.
Watch
Yeah.
that.
Being 2-on-1 and knowing exactly where he is.
That
That
needs to
could
make
tr-
something happen now.
Yeah. He could try for the ghost, but that's the obvious play, and that's the trap here, because they
not-
can move him down.
He's not going to make that.
Yeah. He's running across now. Taking a few hits. Yeah.
Oh, he has a grenade.
Yeah, he wasted it. He doesn't know where Snob is.
Gotta reload.
Alright. They've seen it. I think he saw him. Yeah. It's interesting that Snob has taken that fight. He's in a good position, but he could have just as well died.
He's really low, but
Yeah, there you go.
can't push in.
Time runs out.
Oh, fucking
Takes that civilian last second.
Yeah, Snob gets a point. But Snob getting this many points is really good for the Jinrai. He's just 5 points away from having Lieutenant. A Lieutenant on tarmac with a lead is going to be really powerful.
That's tough.
It's alright, as long as we won round.
Oh, Producer's going support now. I don't think the Jinrai have any MXs.
just makes me want to play.
No, they have 2 M41 and a CR silence, so they don't really have a lot of firepower to take down the support easily.
We need to cover
That's interesting.
Skybridge fence.
When I get to Sergeant, the first gun I pick is then it's
Yeah. It's got quite a wide spread, so I guess that's why they don't really like it here. I'm not sure how... Oh, Snob catching Dash out.
Okay, I got Dash. They know my position now, so I'm gonna back off. How are things looking on your end?
But Denzak and
I'm just
Sevilla
hanging.
might not be that know all about the stats of the weapons, but just pick the one they like the most.
It's pretty dangerous, man. I just heard a cloak by Skybridge.
Denzak and Producer are in the hangar both, but Producer hasn't seen him, and Denzak, oh,
Okay.
they've seen each other.
Definitely hit that guy.
that's like
Producer
taking a lot
knows.
of damage from them. Actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a nice attempt at a grenade, but he threw it too far. Denzak, he's not calling for help, which is interesting. Producer is circling around to get some. Without taking any damage at all.
He's in Skybridge.
Sevilla is willing to tell his teammate where the enemies are, but Denzak maybe he was too stressed out to talk. It can happen. Oh.
Yeah.
Now, that catches Sevilla. Snob has got to make something happen here. Otherwise the NSF are going to tie it out again. Of course we want it to tie out, but I believe Snob wants it wants to win this one. Having a 2-point lead is really good.
Yeah, but it's gonna be hard. Producer Snob is still on 100 HP with the MX.
Yeah, that's kind of hurt. And Snob's, yeah. Oh, there you go. Snob's really hurt now. I don't think he knows that Producer's got is a support, but Snob's probably gonna... Yeah, with the ghost.
Now he
He
knows
knows
where he is. Yeah. And the question is he going to go for it?
If he goes for it, that's really, really daring. Yeah, I don't think he is. An interesting thing you can do when the opponent is a support is just grab the ghost and walk around. Because since you always know where they are, they can't flank you, and they probably can't catch up with you.
Aw, I disappeared.
Oh, Snob might get caught here. Oh, that's screwed. Oh,
Ah, he goes down.
And I shouldn't have done that. but I did
Snob just
anyway.
barely... Snob's head just barely poking over the edge there. The MX only needed 1 bullet there, though.
Let's play the next round a little differently.
Snob, I feel, played that the wrong way. That was quite a risky play. He could just have blamed it out.
Yeah, go for the tie.
Yeah, not that I'm not officially endorsing it, but it would have made more sense there. Producer's sticking with the support, liking the results of last round. They also have a recon still with dash. Snob and Dent might have a shootout in the Skybridge at the start already. No, Snob retreating.
Trying to throw a grenade. I think it went too far.
Yeah. Not a bad attempt though. Snob's team seemed to be sitting protectively around the ghost, while Producer's team, quite understandably, are quite afraid of pushing out. Slowly approaching the hangar now.
I don't like this. I can't guard defense, server room, and Skybridge at the same time.
Seville and Producer might have a shootout in the hangar now. If Producer decides to go into the hangar.
Snob should be able to see Producer through the window.
Yeah. Well, Snob is crouching, so it was way close, but... Oh! Yeah, Dash taking down Sevilla. Snob getting shot at on the Skybridge, and he's a really... yeah. He dropped down in a really bad position there. The fact that he didn't see Producer probably sealed his fate.
Yep.
Now it's all up to Denzak.
With the silenced Mossack in the basement. That's an interesting choice.
Yeah. If he gets on the roof and the Section 8 team is out on the tarmac, he might be able to make something happen, but he does not. Yeah, there you go. Denzak might be too far away to stop the cap, unless he manages. Well, he's got an angle here. Let's see if he can make something happen with it. Oh, he's firing way too fast and at the wrong target. He's hit dash once. He needs to hit him like 3 more times.
Now it's out of ammo.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna see our first ghost cap.
that's the first cap of the tournament right there. Section 8
Really?
getting 2 lieutenants from
this
that.
is gonna
Yeah,
be harder
I'm
now.
pretty sure that's the first one.
The fuck gun was that? That gun sucks for long range.
the
That and
M4 is
Producer
really a great gun.
getting lieutenant. I'm guessing. I
But
expect
the
NSF to
problem,
get
they have 2 lieutenants, and so this
at
will
least one S. Yeah,
they can
that's
command a
taking an
lot of
SRS,
They can play passively around the main
and
tarmacs,
Producer's
they
taking
will-
an AA-13.
Dash doesn't even have to push in.
Snob's a bit frantic about the fact that the enemy have 2 lieutenants, which is understandable.
Yeah, it's going to be
Gonna go
really
basement
tough for
again,
them now.
try to get
Yeah,
lucky.
that's gonna lock down the roof and make any egress from the Skybridge on their side impossible with the SRS. They're always gonna have, the junior are always gonna have to fear an AA or something heavy going through either server or basement.
We see Producer camping out in the hangar. I would go through the basement with AA.
Yeah. I guess locking down the hangar is a pretty viable way of doing it.
The good thing is that Ghost is on our side. Wait, what are you guys doing? We're not watching Skybridge? What the fuck?
Yeah, the junior team are a bit uncoordinated and frantic at the moment. They don't really know what to do, and that's understandable.
Yeah. Picking up the ghosts, try to figure out where the enemies are.
Yeah. Producer fired a shot with the AA.
Looks like he's pushing up. Watch.
Oh, Dash going crazy.
I'm not sure what he was trying to do there.
Yeah, I think he wanted to catch the ghost, I guess, but he didn't really think it through.
Denzak, you might want to back up. He looks like he has the next round.
That's moving up on Skybridge now. Now the engineer should know the team, what they are. Oh, Sevilla. Really nice, catching out there.
Yeah. Really surprising that.
Enough.
I think that was expected all of them to be by the ghost.
Yeah. If Snob looks through the window, Producer is in a really bad spot to move up with the AA, interestingly enough.
20 meters west. He looks like he's outside the surf room. He's trying to enter.
Oh,
Sevilla, don't peek.
there you go. Producer assaults in a position where he can't really make use of the
I
AA
can't shoot through that glass.
with all the windows and people being at quite a range.
There is a line
It's been
that
a
you can
minute,
shoot,
dude.
but I'd recommend against it.
So Snob's got Lieutenant now. And there's a 4-4. This is the closest match we've had so far with the most lieutenants.
Exploits aren't allowed.
Really interesting tournaments here.
Now this is interesting. Snob did not take an SRS. Or any lieutenant weapon, in fact.
Huh. Even if he doesn't want to use any of those guns himself, he can switch with someone else.
Watch server and
Yeah.
I'll watch server and Sky.
Dead still taking the SRS, watching from the roof. Producer as well with an SRS on the roof. Snob almost catches Producer with a grenade. A bit off. Dash is pushing in again and gets caught out again.
Good job,
Yes.
good job. We have a kill now. Alright, so now we're up.
Dash is giving Jinrai a good advantage, and Jinrai have been able to capitalize on that. That's how they won the last round. And
So
they could
Producer
leverage
jumping
it.
over the fence with the
What do you see now?
SRS.
Oh,
Can't get
Yeah.
a shot.
Nice job.
that was also a weird decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
With there being 2 minutes left, a team of 2 SRSs can
We could
at least spend a minute just hoping for a kill.
and then bait this guy out. I need someone with me now.
Snob's definitely planning on leveraging the advantage they have.
It's clear.
Planning a trap for that.
Whipping? Whipping, he could be anywhere. Okay, 33 meters north by northwest, playing passively. Looks like he's around the sky bridge, I think. Yeah, he's definitely at the
It's gonna be
back.
interesting to see what that plans on doing here. He doesn't seem to know
He's just
where to go,
angled there. Sevilla, back up,
which is probably the worst thing to do if the enemy has to go.
Don't play around the fence area. Okay, he's moved down. Sevilla, you need to run back here now. Run. Okay. Okay.
Snob properly afraid of SRS.
Yeah.
Now, he's moved back towards their spawn. So basically, what he's gonna try to do is he's gonna wait for us to peek him, and then like pick us off one by one. So what we should do in this case is play accordingly by just waiting it out.
Snob has made the perfect tactical call here. That is camping in the parking lot.
He will lean around the corner.
So he's gonna force that to come to them.
We should just wait him out.
Yeah, they can just wait it out.
Denzak might be making a mistake here moving up on Skybridge. Snob seems to be in a constant struggle to control his teammates and not let him push out.
You never know when he might
Yeah, I'm just standing in by the stairs.
Yeah, when there's only one enemy left and you have the ghost, you can
Okay,
track his every
33 meters
movement.
north by
And
northwest.
just,
Yeah.
He looks like he's moving up the sky bridge now. I'd be careful.
Jinrai could definitely lose a teammate here. There you go.
Yep.
And that's exactly the mistake you don't
Yeah.
want to make. There's a lot
He is now moving up.
that could have been entirely, you know, avoided.
Okay, he's in the middle of the roof now. We need to move to basements so that he can't catch us even if he wanted to. Okay, so he's
Yeah,
dropped down.
that's charging in now and Snob knows
No,
it.
no. Alright, he's dropped down towards our side of the tarmac. He's rushing us now. He's gonna be peeking around this corner still. Be careful.
Yeah, Jinrai just run. And that can't get shot. Now, let's see who poked out. It was Denzak, right? Yeah. If Denzak hadn't poked out, that round wouldn't have even been stressful at the end. That would have ran in and got him picked off somewhere where they had an ambush set up.
Yeah.
Still, Snob played it perfectly. And that gives him 5-4 lead.
Go and win this.
At the rate this game is going now, it's first to 7.
What's better than
It's
MX5
best out
or
of 13
MX5 silence?
with the ties counting towards the limit.
Yeah. It's an
We don't
okay
need
gun.
to be quiet, you don't need to stop.
The NSF are not changing their style up, nor are Jinrai.
Oh, don't.
Oh,
wow.
Snob's
Okay.
weapon got
It's fine,
stolen.
it's fine, it's fine.
But he's gonna grab the ghost instead.
Okay. Okay. Beeping 39 meters.
Producer running through the basement with an AA. Dash, the recon camping out on tarmac
Coming up the basement
with an
stairs
SRM,
now.
a jetty.
Zach, you should have line of sight on him if you're in that. Are you in that?
I'm in the
space?
black call space.
Yeah. Okay. So just peek out now. He's coming out 18 meters.
I'm looking at the stairs.
We got one on the sky.
Let's see if producer gets caught out in the basement stairs.
Okay, 10
You
meters.
see Dash lagging out here. Oh, it's back.
One in the basement.
Producer was expecting the guy in the hidey hole, and with the AA he can fill it full of
That
lead.
was pretty frantic ghosting by me.
Snob is gonna get a rifle now at least, armed with an MX.
Okay, now they're playing passively, I think.
Dash is going around for the flank here. He's in a really good position if he just goes for it.
Offside.
But he was too slow. Snob knew about him, or knows about him now.
Around us.
There you
Jumps
go.
down behind him.
Now we're-
Yeah, Snob was so fast that the flanking recon got flanked. That also has an AA and is
Okay,
moving
so
up this
we're gonna
basement
try
now
to use,
with producer.
possibly pick us off. So what you need to do is you need to play passively around the basement and just guard it. Like, you need to be aware of the fact that there's a guy with AA-13. Just
The NSF seem to be
south by southwest.
trying to decide on what to do.
That was a terrible
I'm not
aim.
sure what they can do here.
Yeah, with a 2 AAs, they can definitely win this by just charging in. But
So
it's a risky play.
They're both peeking in
Yeah.
now.
They might want the tie instead.
Yeah, either go for the tie or just rush in. Yeah, I've seen them rush in
Ooh.
now.
Sevilla,
The AA should win over the CR.
yeah, really didn't even take any damage there.
I thought they were just peeking. I didn't know
As
they
soon
were
as I realized that my gun was gone, like, that's what lost us the round.
Producer tying it out 5-5.
Okay, so
Yeah, might get to see the sudden death system in use here.
That would be interesting. We're gonna need a tie before that. Did you
Yeah,
write a
push it
special
now.
sudden death system, Andrew?
Well, if you play all 15 rounds and the score is tied, then you keep playing.
Yeah,
The first
13 rounds, right?
first win will win the.
Producer, interestingly, taking a PC through the basement.
okay, I just killed Dash. This basically means that we have the number advantage, so let's just play passively again.
Sevilla is not leaning around the corner down the basement.
Back,
That seems like a really weird decision.
vigilant about what choke points we hold. Denzak.
Producer's coming out, and if he gets a half or even,
Yeah.
a half by the
Yeah, it's a
target.
guy sky bridge.
Alright, he started leaning now. If he gets a big target with that PC, he's just gonna rip it apart.
Actually,
Yeah.
don't even.
Yeah, there you go.
Shit.
Producer's down at 50 health. Oh, Denzak going down as well.
Moving back to fence.
Snob is in a good position with 2 hurt enemies. He can definitely take them out in a straight firefight.
Yeah, he just needs to figure out where they are.
Yeah. Producer seems... Oh, there you go, dead, flanking him. Producer's got a lead here. This is actually match point for NSF.
We still have another shot in the lower bracket, but I'd like to at least give them one more win. Maybe.
If the NSF... If this match is tied,
I'd like to at least give them
then there's gonna be rounds going on still. If the NSF win this round, they win it all. If Jinrai win this, well, we're gonna have the game point. Sudden death.
tiebreaker that is. I'm pushing up the Skybridge.
Let's see, 2 supports with
Hopefully I can get it.
PCs here.
Yeah.
That and the producer.
And we have Dash going for MX Assault for the first time in the round. Then it's actually going for survivability here, I
Snob
guess.
was rushing down.
Oh,
Throws a grenade
Snob.
and it hits.
Go.
Wow,
Magnificent
that's
grenade.
nice.
Okay.
So Snob is probably going to advocate playing passively again.
Yeah, it should fall back around.
He's done quite a bit of damage to Producer.
They're both
Producer is
watching the
below the amount of health an Assault has by now, at 60,
Sorry, guys.
or just about at it.
Up my directions.
Snob hasn't taken a lot of damage in that part. Producer just walking across. That's a bad mistake.
Dash left, I think.
So long as Snob doesn't make the mistake thinking Dash
Can't
is
exactly shoot there.
a recon, then they're gonna win this. Dash is really badly
But
pinned.
they win.
There you go.
Nice.
This is getting exciting here, folks.
What are those win shots?
6-6, game point.
Tiebreaker. So if we win
Whoever
this-
wins next wins.
Alright.
Alright,
No
Agile,
pressure.
what do you think going into this last round? Who's gonna win it?
It's so close.
That's pressure. I
I'm
don't
gonna
feel
go.
pressure.
Very hard to
Recon
predict.
this round. Maybe I
Yeah.
can do something.
Oh, look at Snob. This is gonna be a round we have to
I guess
follow
I'm gonna
Snob.
do
He's
some-
going shotgun recon here. He's putting it all on the line. This has gotta be a crowd pleaser if this goes. Just rushing across the sky bridge.
Yeah, I'm specking Snob now.
Producer is a support.
I don't think
This
they're
is not
expecting this at all.
Oh,
Producer
Snob
goes
gets
down.
producer. That has no idea what's going on.
One on route.
Holy
did
shit.
Scylla die?
I'm really tense here.
No idea. Maybe fence?
Snob is waiting in the hideout.
Because I don't know though for sure.
Yeah,
Because I went
Snob is in a good position to just take someone out. They don't know at all what he's doing still. Well, producer might have told them that he's a recon actually. If he even had time to see it. Denzak's coming up behind Dead as well, not to forget. He's been pushing through the basement. Oh, Dead saw him.
Skybridge, one contact.
Oh!
Wow.
Oh shit.
That's nice. That was a lucky grenade with Denzak coming out of the basement at the wrong time. Even so. It's all up to Snob now. Can he get a kill at least? If I was Snob, I might go for hunting down. Dash instead. There you go. Snob takes him out. Is he gonna hide or is he gonna go for it, Agile?
That's
I really want him to go for it.
Yeah,
This is too high.
I hope so.
I definitely think that Snob is the one who could take out Dead in this situation pretty easily. Dead is just hiding in the bathroom.
Snob is hiding in the basement.
Yeah.
Not being very patient. He starts running again.
Yeah. Snob, he's gotta have some adrenaline coursing through him.
Yeah.
That probably just has cold fear. Yeah, Snob's camping way back on the tarmac here. Both players understandably scared. Snob should know what that is armed with and what class he is. That probably knows what Snob is doing.
Yep. That is moving out.
If you were dead, where would you be going now?
Oh, I don't know. Probably to the ghost. Keep an eye on it.
Yeah. I would be definitely afraid of dead packs. We haven't seen any used in this match. Well, he's only been recon one round. I would have expected Dash to put a few dead packs down, considering how often the Jinwei have grabbed the ghost.
There's the tie.
There's the time. Real life caught up to me here, so I'm gonna have to go do something, but I'll be right back.
Okay.
I don't want to miss this.
Now we see the competitive plugin telling us that this is the sudden death round.
So what do we do?
Let's try this again. Next person to score one.
And we're not seeing the same
Passive or aggressive?
tactic again here from Jinrai. They're all assaults.
One on
Dash is still a recon though. Poking out, getting shot by Denzak.
Oh.
Snob. Didn't see that grenade,
It was
but
only
it goes down.
nothing important. Alright, with Snob down, Jinrai probably want to wait this out. But NSF knows that Snob is the big target.
Yeah,
It's all up to them.
I would probably try to go for it now.
Yeah,
If I was NSF.
I definitely think
They're
Jinrai
playing
can
really
catch
passive.
Dash. He's really low on health
Server.
and not that good as a recon.
At least I think it's server.
I'm surprised that producer hasn't kept a tighter leash on Dash.
Sport. I'm gonna go base.
They could actually end this round with a ghost cap.
So one's outside somewhere.
Chris said it was as it would be with where the NSF are now. The Jinrai would have an easy ghost cap.
Do they realize it though?
I don't think so. I don't think Snob noticed it, and I don't think Sevilla and Denzak. I don't think they're gonna try for it, nor do I think they
Everything
realize
goes
it's a strat.
Being very careful.
Yeah. Sevilla is actually flanking around the long route. Decides not, is he gonna go up the ladder? Denzak. Producer might catch Denzak here, he knows where he is and he's going for it. There you
It
go.
does.
It's 1-on-1 with 1 minute left here on tarmac. Sevilla's climbing up the ladders, he's really exposed, the producer looks out.
Where'd he kill you?
Producer's seen him. We have,
Oh,
oh!
Proper
Sevilla
shootout.
wins it for Jinrai.
Jinrai.
Holy shit, what a game, people.
Yeah,
Jesus
it's
Christ.
probably the best game I've seen so far.
Yeah, no doubt. Holy shit.
It was so close.
Snob's team advanced again with the closest match this tournament. It was all down to that one firefight.
That was
My
impressive.
God.
Good game.
Producer sounds
I was actually gonna
exhausted.
go for the
You must be really happy about that.
No, that producer
Remember
is,
that one
but
round where like you just went up the stairs from the basement and like you killed
Yeah.
me and Sevilla?
And with the delay, I
was
think
so like
uh,
sad that round.
Section 8 state of mind
Like,
wasn't in the best
we had a
position.
defensive position and everything, and then I just
They
like had my
probably
semi-auto instead of automatic.
Pretty,
When we saw
when you have
we
to wait
had it,
like
and you
that,
started shotgun rushing, I was
so
shocked. So
it's
I was
really
so
annoying.
shocked.
yeah.
It's hard to
That was
refocus.
really, really good. I have to admit, that was incredibly good.
Yeah, I think that might have put producer on tilt. To be fair, it probably affected Snob and his team pretty well, pretty bad as well, with them having all the trouble.
What's that?
Still really well played
game.
by both teams.
Yeah, man.
Producer wants to join the mumble. How about we invite Snob and producer in
Yeah,
here?
sure.
Love it.
Alright. Just gotta get him the info. Tell us about your day while we're waiting, Snob. Or what you think about the game. I mean, Agile, not Snob.
Yeah, it's really interesting. We didn't see any like proper rushes, like recon rushes, or all supports or anything. We were just playing it standard. And on this map, I was expecting more defensive play, but I think that none of the teams were playing really defensive.
Yeah, I
Like
agree with that.
They actually they tried to take out the enemy team instead of falling back and camping it out, which is what I like to see.
Yeah, we had a pretty stable aggressive play with a lot of assaults. Snob's rush was essentially the only one.
Yeah, I guess
But
Snob is like the only good recon, I guess, among these players.
yeah,
So they felt more comfortable with the assaults and sports, I guess.
yeah. I'm surprised Snob played as little recon as he did. We might have seen it more had he had a big advantage. Oh, here we have Snob and producer joining. Snob,
Damn.
your mic seems to be broken. Try changing your quality settings. So, producer, how sweaty are you, man?
Oh, God, man, the last few rounds, I don't know. The mumble, we were so freaking out in the mumble every time we hit a tie or we had a win. The more we got closer to the end of the match, I don't know, was intense as hell.
Yeah. Talk me through the last round, man. How did you feel when you...
I just
Go on.
saw that one person on tarmac, and I saw the ghost being close, so I saw that I had to jump in, take him out. And unfortunately, I wasn't reacting fast enough to see that they weren't even going for it, so...
Yeah, we were talking about it as commentators. They had a clean shot at it when you were over in the parking lot,
Yeah.
but you got back in time. Man, the entire match boiled down to one gunfight. We were kinda hyped in this mumble as well, I'll tell you.
No kidding.
I'm shaking, I'm sweating, I was going to use every single reserve of energy I had to win. I can't even like properly talk, nothing. It's crazy.
So I noticed that your recon Dash jumped in and died a few times. Were you coordinating through mumble, or were you not talking at all?
We used him, as he said, he feels he's not going to do much better as assault or support. We used him to see people, and we actually tried to get him back before he died, so we can catch them or flank them or whatever.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out too well. I have to say, though, that he doesn't play too often. So I guess that's one of the points we have to think about here. The coordination itself was quite alright, and we kept going through all kinds of possibilities, especially at the end, where we saw they have a lieutenant, they might go SRS, we charged through basement with PZ and shit. But it didn't work out too well as soon as we found out Snob's just going to rush us with a shotgun. That was quite a surprise indeed.
Yeah, I must have been very surprised there.
Yeah, especially because I thought I had it by being a support, being a tank, just taking them down with a PZ, but no, I was down faster than everything else.
Man, it was really good.
I can't imagine. We were so surprised that we got that far.
Yeah. So Snob, about that shotgun rush, I almost creamed myself when I saw you pull out the recon finally. I had been waiting for that.
Yeah, I was a bit hesitant to play recon because, like, as you know, I was having a bunch of lag problems, like, that even prevented me from playing on time today. Like, so I basically didn't get any practice with recon, and I just decided I was gonna play assault as like the safe pick.
Yeah.
In that last round, I saw that NSF was playing really passively, and it was gonna take a lot to win. Like, I can't just pick a choke point and then go in and like win a gunfight versus Det and producer. That's not gonna happen. So I tried to like get the jump on them. Like, usually when I take that rush, I actually rush through the sky bridge, but this time I thought, why not go through that briefing room and catch out an assault that's rushing? And it turned out that there was no assault rushing, but wouldn't you know, producer was there with a PC.
Yeah, I think that probably saved the game. If I remember correctly, that was setting up, going up on the other side of the sky bridge just as you were coming.
Yeah, that was trying to go through Skybridge while I was trying to push through basement to have both sides clear, like both levels clear, while that was trying to pick out and tell us where they're at. So that was like something we didn't even calculate in, and that kind of just messed up the round. Especially when Snob and Det were alive, alone. I told them not to run out, because it's a shotgun recon, and I just told them, go for a cubbyhole, it's the safest place if he pops up there somewhere. And as I couldn't see what's happening, I just was sitting here and literally just crapping myself the whole time.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, damn, man.
Man, it's gotta be hard to die as a team captain when it's that tense.
It's
Maybe
basically just blind coordination. You have to trust your team members.
Yeah. Maybe that was why you played Assault as well, Snob. You didn't want to leave your
Yeah.
team hanging.
Yeah. I the thing is, like, Denzak and Sevilla, they have potential as players, but like with Sevilla in particular, like they don't play as often as like me or any other players. I can't really fault them for that because, you know, they might just be like grown-ass men working jobs or doing stuff, so they might not have time to play NT. But I didn't want to put myself into a role like recon that takes like so much skill. Well, not really skill, but like you don't have the same strength in gunfights that like an assault would have. And I thought, like, what's the point of speed if, you know, my team dies and then I'm in like an enclosed choke point with Section 8? It wouldn't work well.
Yeah.
And in general, I think we saw very balanced loadouts. In the past, we've seen like full team recons or supports, but I get the feeling that you're playing it safe more, picking at least 2 assaults, and like no shotguns, just CR, very standard.
Yeah. I saw producer. You experimented a bit with how many supports you were supposed to have, but you stayed with the assault and support most of the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't touch recon because I knew combination between me and recon when I play casually, it didn't work out too well. And we were discussing it a lot during the time, but I told myself, if I go support and we got that recon spotting out everything, I could just be the person in the background just in case if they pass by to take them out, or just try to charge when they're not expecting it, which worked well when I once was charging through the basement and the guy was waiting at the staircase to lower tarmac. We also told each other a lot. As soon as me or Det took out somebody Dash spotted, we just fall back to get the win. We always tried to just be a whole unit and fall back as soon as that happened, but it didn't work out all the time.
Yeah, it was a valiant attempt. I saw that Snob tried the same, especially during the later rounds, where you wanted to just go back and defend when you had the point lead. So, Snob, one thing I really need to ask you about is, I noticed that you didn't take any lieutenant weapon.
Yeah.
Is there any reasoning behind that? You took the shotgun as recon, but that's about it.
Yeah. The thing is, like, that there is something to be said about the ZR silence, that it's like utility. It's basically like the GT silenced for recon, except it's in an assault form. Like, I didn't want to use SRS because I didn't know like which choke point they were gonna be in, and if I was ever caught out, like let's say from the tarmac spawn, like they decide to rush up roof and I'm holding an SRS, like, and I get caught out by the guy, I'm not gonna be able to do much. Or if I pick an A13 and I decide to go up the sky bridge and he's hiding behind the glass, I can't shoot him. Like, but with the ZR silence, you have so much utility that you can pretty much apply it to any situation. Well, not any situation. Like you saw, like that last gunfight with Det. No, I mean like in the third round, that gunfight with Det that I had, where I couldn't even shoot him as he was hiding behind that little cargo box.
Yeah.
And then again with Dash when he was hiding behind one of the boxes again. But in general, it's like a really strong gun, so that's why I decided to go with it over the lieutenant weapons.
We were thinking you would end up taking the lieutenant weapon as a refuge, but the first thing, when we saw you hit lieutenant, we really thought you would go for SRS because you had the sight on tarmac, and I told them not to go tarmac or like roof or anything, just go basement and charge from lower tarmac up to the stairs at the end of it to charge you out. And apparently you weren't there, so we just mixed up plans.
The thing with that is, like, if Denzak or Sevilla were to ever die, I'd have to push in with an SRS, because I know, like, none of you would give me an angle to shoot you. Like, none of you would peek into me if I was in a choke point.
or if I was from that very back position
Exactly.
on tarmac. So, like, I'd have to possibly go mid-range or close range, and then that just diminishes the SRS's worth.
So, Snob, do you have any celebrations planned now? Maybe an egg sandwich or something? Alright, I'll take that as a no. Do you guys, to those listening, we're probably going to be streaming the second match as well. We're talking to Rain about it now, see what's going on. Do you two have anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to mention about the match?
Me or Snob or
Yeah, any words?
It was definitely unexpected, and I'm looking forward to the next match, even if it's the losers bracket. And I thank Snob for being such a really, really amazing competitor in this match. Snob, I cannot hear you.
Yeah,
there you go.
sorry guys. Anyways, thanks for like Rain and producer for like waiting out, because earlier today I wasn't able to show up on time because we had to like take the router to the headquarters and swap it out for a new one, because it ended up breaking as I was talking to Rain about like the ping troubles, and then you had to wait like 15 more minutes just to set it up, and then there was a bunch of lagging problems. Like I'd spike up to 200 ping randomly, and then I think there was one point where it was like 900 ping as well.
Yeah.
So it's good that they're understanding and didn't really like try to like forfeit win, take the forfeit win, that is.
Yeah, I'm really glad you did that. I think everyone who watched that are glad that you did it. I'm looking forward to more matches of that caliber for you, Snob. And you as well, producer, down in the losers bracket.
Let's hope it'll be like that.
Yeah?
I mean, it's tearing up, but the more it tears you up, the more you'll improve, and the more you think about it afterwards.
Yeah. Let's see. Snob will be going on to be facing Third thanks to that victory. Third got a bye because Remy's team couldn't show. And it seems like producer will be facing Fragboy in his losers tournament match. Losers bracket match, rather. Wow, guys. I gotta say this as someone who plays with you, I'm really fucking impressed with this game.
Thank you. It's really appreciated. And for me, it's not over yet. I have to switch into a ref position now. So, quite a day.
Yeah, I believe you. Man, Snob, good luck with the next matches coming up.
Alright.
I'll be seeing you when you beat Third, alright?
I don't know about that. It could be a toss-up.
I'm
Especially
sure you'll
if
do
we're
fine.
playing on Data Steel. It's like, they're an NA team, right?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Angel,
we'll see how it goes.
do you have any word?
Yeah, I'm just joining up the other server now.
Alright, that's great. Well, Snob, producer, thank you for coming.
No problem.
Alright.
Thank you very
If you're
much
gonna-
for
yeah.
an entertaining match. And good luck.
Wait, say that again?
Thank you very much for this match.
Oh, alright.
And good luck in the future.
Thank you.
Okay.
Producer, if you're gonna be a judge for the match, it
I'm
might
here.
be worth. Yeah, I know you're here. It might be worth you staying here. And
Yep.
just muted in the chat or hanging out if you want to.
I mean, it's push to talk, so.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll figure it out.
To everybody listening, I'll be available in group chat now, so if you have questions, you can ask me there.
Jesus Christ. Man, Angel, I'm fucking worn out. I'm not sure how you feel, but I'm worn out. And the guy, those who've been playing,
like, you know, recently there's that little update that messed with stuff. I think he needs to do
Yeah, it's-
that right now.
When you're just spectating, it doesn't seem that exhausting. Matches are over pretty quickly, but it's so intense when you're playing. When it's that close, especially,
yeah.
it's so exhausting.
Or alright, I'll
Man,
relay
I know
it to him.
just during my match, which went quite well in our favor, I was like stressing out before and exhausted afterwards. I can't believe how they feel after this one.